Success for a long time. Everything from all the way back to Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill with Think and Grow Rich, through Nightingale Conant, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, all of them. And never have I heard the story that said, well, you know what really drove me to success? I spent my time in fear, panic, and worry. And that's how I was able to become unbelievably successful. I haven't read that story. Up to this point, I have not read the story where somebody said, well, you know what? Here's how I became unbelievably successful. Here's what I did. Things were starting to go bad for me. They were going real bad for me. So what I decided to do was go to the couch. And I got on the couch, and as I laid on the couch with some cookies and a half-drink bottle of vodka and some chips, and I laid there and I said, God, you know, I'm actually afraid that this government bailout's not going to work. And I'm somewhat panicked that my bank might close tomorrow. And I'm really worried that these CEOs that actually got the money are going to spend it on hookers and massages and spending time with the chick with the octuplets. And then I worried some more, and I curled up in the fetal position. And an amazing thing happened. Money started showing up at my house. The more I worried, the less I did, and the more time I spent on the couch, money showed up at my house. First, it started off small. It was like a little kid's red wagon. Then all of a sudden, wheelbarrows of money just kind of started showing up at the house. So I worried a little bit more. I did nothing. I became unbelievably panic-stricken. And at that point, checks started showing up. First, they were little checks. Then, big checks. You know, like the one Ed McMahon brings over for the Publishers Clearinghouse. So because that worked so well, I just took the vodka and I went into the closet. And I worried some more. And my books just wrote themselves. That's what happened. That's how I built my empire. I built my empire by sitting there waiting for somebody else to do something to make me feel better, for somebody else to make me successful. And my first book came out. You might remember it. It was called Fear Your Way to Financial Freedom. It became a bestseller. And I waited, and somebody wrote another book for me. It was Panic Your Way into Profits. This one really launched my career. So I really hunkered down now. I had a bigger house, and I had a bigger couch. But I still spent time on the couch worrying about what was going to happen. And that's how I came up with this one, which is why I'm here tonight on Larry King. You know, it's on Oprah's book club bestseller. And that is, Worry Your Way to Wealth. That's how I became successful. I don't think so. Maybe you've seen this success story, but I haven't. Because peak performers and champions don't spend their time in fear, panic, and worry. Now, I'm not saying that you should ignore what the current economic conditions are right now. I'm not saying you should stand there and say, it's okay, my 401 became a 201, and it became a 101, but it's all okay. It's all okay. I'm going to be okay. What I'm saying is you have to be realistic. If you listen to Anthony Robbins, one of his famous quotes is, champions and leaders see things as they are, not worse than they are. Might want to jot that down in your notes. See things as they are and not worse than they are. Because what happens is you start creating these images in your mind. And even if it doesn't happen, your body thinks it does. And it paralyzes you to the point where you can't do the things that you know you should do. And peak performers and champions don't work like that.